Olá, bom dia a todos. Sejam bem-vindos a esta sessão do Acrobat e do Acrobat AI Assistant. Vamos só esperar aqui mais 2 minutinhos para dar tempo a toda a gente para se juntar e começamos de seguida. Obrigado. Deixa eu dar aqui mais um minutinho e começamos de seguida. Vamos então dar início à ação. Bom dia novamente a todos. O meu nome é Ricardo Monteiro. Sou responsável por Adobe dentro da TDC Next para Portugal e Espanha. E hoje temos uma sessão sobre o Acrobat AI Assistant, a nova ferramenta de IA da Adobe para o Acrobat. Nesta sessão também vamos conhecer o Acrobat Studio, o novo produto da Adobe na linha do Acrobat, que inclui o Acrobat Pro, o Acrobat AI e o Adobe Express. Nesta sessão temos a Charlotte. Charlotte faz também parte da TDC Next e faz parte da nossa equipa de especialistas de produto. Aproveito aqui também para dizer que a Charlotte pode nos ajudar em mais situações, sempre que tenham alguma necessidade de conhecer melhor algum produto, de fazer alguma pressão, alguma ação com clientes, algum training que achem necessário, por exemplo, para Acrobat, para Creative Cloud, podem falar connosco e podemos agendar essa sessão com a Charlotte. Charlotte, thank you very much for helping us with this webinar. I'll give now the word to you, and you can start the presentation.
Brilliant, thank you, and good morning, everybody. It's great to be joining you, especially when we're talking about some really exciting new advances and products coming out in Adobe. So yeah, my name's Charlotte. I'm the new pre-sales technical specialist at TD Synnex for Adobe, and super excited whenever anyone asks me about Acrobat Studio. I get very excited about it. But this is, as you can see on the screen, the new era of PDF. So what we're going to look at is an overview, then a bit of a deep dive into your Office Assistant, introducing Acrobat Studio, and then a couple of questions for you. So what and what's next? They might not make sense now, but they will when we get to that part of the presentation. So the next era of PDF is already shaped by a mix of standards within the workplace. AI and is changing user expectations. Instead of just being digital paper, PDFs are evolving into portable knowledge containers, documents that humans can read, machines can process, and systems can trust. Whilst we're still guaranteeing that 20 years from now, they'll look exactly as intended, in today's fast-paced business environment, needs are constantly evolving. Organizations are grappling with challenges related to collaboration, maximizing AI investments, and managing budgets effectively. Without the right tools to navigate these complexities, businesses are finding themselves paying a heavy price in terms of efficiency and missed opportunities, which is probably something that you're hearing in your daily conversations. The document age is changing. The next era of PDF, as we're calling this webinar today, is interactive, intelligent, and verifiable. So what are organizations saying? Organizations are saying that more than 25% of surveyed professionals express concerns of the impact of AI on their industry. However, over 80% indicate they would embrace AI technology if it could save them more than 10 hours per week. Now, what we're seeing is that it can save you a lot more than 10 hours per week. This presentation, for example, today was created on Adobe Express. And normally to create a presentation, it would take me a couple of weeks to do so. However, with the use of AI, having my brand kit already uploaded into Express, I managed to create this and put this together in a week. Then we have on average 25 hours and 54 minutes on editing. So that's just over a whole day of editing for people, summarizing content, reading and creating documents per week. With the use of Acrobat AI Assistant, this time commitment could be reduced to 2 hours and 19 minutes, which is an absolutely massive difference when you're talking to your customers. 30% of respondents identified that time constraints as the primary challenge they encounter with documented related tasks. And then almost 25% of surveyed employees indicated that they were more likely to adopt AI if there were evident time-saving benefits. So evident time-saving benefits, you will always get asked for case studies by customers. Now, if you like, and you go up to the top here, and I'll stay on this page just for a second for you to do it. If you scan the QR code, you can access the Adobe Acrobat AI Assistant time-saving analysis from 2024, which is where these facts and figures were pulled from. So I'll wait a few seconds for anyone that does want to scan that QR code, and then I'll move on. Okay, don't worry if you didn't get the chance to scan it. At the end of this week, I will be sending these presentation decks to Ricardo, and he will be able to share them with yourselves. So, the biggest challenges across organizations. We're talking about the PDF, we're talking about documents, but it's not actually a document problem, it is a business problem. A lot of people have a lot of feelings about the amount of document-related tasks in the workplace. I know I do. I come from a creative background, henceforth why I work with Adobe and Adobe Creative Cloud and Document Cloud. Document Cloud makes my life a whole lot easier, especially with the AI assistant and generative AI coming into their products. I'm not a reader. I'm not the type of person that will read 50 pages of a document just to go through it and summarize and take notes. I would much prefer the AI assistant within Acrobat Pro to summarize it for me so I can focus on the more creative side of making things look good, bringing in imagery and video to make my presentations more exciting. Some of the things people are feeling, well, 30% of people say they they're finding time constraints. 18% maintaining accuracy. 9% managing document. 7% ensuring compliance. And 8% find that they have too much information. Now, this probably isn't something new to you, but the feelings that come off the back of this in the workplace currently are one, being overwhelmed. You can take a look at your calendar, you can take a look at the documents and workloads, and just feel like you just can't get out of that document mountain that is being created. 2, people aren't feeling productive enough because they're spending so much time on mundane tasks such as summarizing and note-taking to get insights. They're not being able to be productive in the sense that they could do more with the time that they have. Then they're being frustrated. The tools aren't always the easiest to use, and Adobe's ecosystem of many tools together within the background alongside other tools you might have. So you might have Microsoft, you might have analytics tools, you might have Google tools, you might have share drives, you might have absolutely everything everywhere. Adobe wants to change this so that we're less frustrated and we're using an ecosystem of tools that is easier to connect in terms of flow, collaboration, and productivity. Then people are feeling stressed, and people are feeling less organized. AI Assistant helps with this. So what is the solution to these challenges? It is Adobe AI Assistant. This is the advanced AI power feature developed by Adobe, seamlessly integrated into Adobe Acrobat that allows users to interact with their digital documents in a conversational manner. Instead of manually searching for information or skimming through, reading fast hundreds of pages in a PDF, you can now use the AI assistant to ask questions and receive insightful context-aware responses based only on the content of the documents you provide. So a bit of background. Generative AI has ushered in a new era of content interaction, making it possible to glean key insights from complex documents faster and more efficiently. But Adobe AI Assistant was developed at a time when global workers faced information overload, spending an average of 8 hours per week just searching for, recreating, and resending information. The main objective of the AI assistant is to reduce this wasted time and significantly boost document productivity, allowing professionals to turn documents into actionable insights swiftly. So let's take a look. Now, if you haven't had your morning coffee already and you've got your headphones on this morning, that music probably definitely woke you up a bit. But it's got that same matching energy that we want people to have when we're talking about this product. This product is something that brings energy to the workforce. It brings productivity. It's simple to use. It's fast moving, hence why I chose the video with this kind of music. It's got that same passion and bounciness that I have when I'm talking about AI Assistant or in a minute Acrobat Studio. That's the energy we want to be showing our customers. Now, online, there are a lot more videos. If you go to the Adobe CBC and partner portals, we have more videos, or you can reach out to Ricardo and the team if demos are necessarily needed as well, which we can do. But just short videos like this can pique the interest of people that might not know anything about AI Assistant at all. So roles in the workplace. This rise in generative AI, like Adobe's AI Assistant, reflects a paradigm shift in digital workflows. Instead of users having to adapt to the software now is adapting to the user's needs. And that's what Adobe is doing here. The AI Assistant's primary proposition is speed. Tasks that used to take hours of manual reading or searching can now be resolved in minutes. Streamlining sales prospecting, financial reporting, R&D synthesis, regulatory assessment, and more. It's not just about efficiently, but it's also empowering users to extract insights, brainstorm, and produce deliverables such as emails, blogs, presentations, and summaries faster and more accurately. Now, when it comes to emails, for example, you get sent a PDF, you don't really want to read it all, you don't really have time. With the AI assistant, you can summarize, and then with the AI assistant say, write me an email responding to this, including X, Y, Z. The AI assistant within minutes will generate a response for you that obviously you can change and send back to the person you were talking to. But what's great about this is it gives you that basis and skeleton for generating work faster. And a lot of people, when we talk about AI, yeah, but it's replacing humans. No, your AI office assistant is your assistant. It is there to help you and not replace you. But it will make you more efficient. It's more innovative. You can collaborate a lot more. So it's one of those, I would say, small tools within the Adobe ecosystem that it's actually probably one of the biggest and more effective. Some of its features and benefits, so obviously we've spoken about this a lot: save time, reduce time spent on long and time-consuming tasks. Once you can compare and interact with multiple large files, for example, to gain insights, so you can load from 1 to 10 documents on your AI assistant and compare those documents. Faster content creation. So AI assistant can help create first drafts for context, emails, blogs, presentations, and much more. When we talk about blogs can be short, they can be long. Part of my role coming in 4 months ago was the idea that we should be creating a TD Synnex blog on Adobe. And I thought, fantastic, because I don't think that's really been done. There's YouTube videos out there, but I've not really seen many blogs. I thought, right, how can I write a blog? I'm not a writer. I don't like reading. I'm not a writer. I like painting. I like drawing. I like taking photos. So I was like, how could I do this? Now, doing it, I know I wanted to make it personal and put my own voice on it, but I wasn't really, and I had ideas of what I could write about and what I wanted my first one to be. So I put it all into AI Assistant using a draft that I'd created on Word as a PDF, and I got the AI Assistant to help me create my first draft of the blog, which I then took away and I worked over the top on, putting my own voice on it, putting my own spin onto it. And now the Belgium team are looking to publish that in the next few weeks. But normally something like that for someone as non-creative in writing as myself, that could have taken me months to do, but it actually only took me a couple of weeks. And it still has my own spin because, as I said, the human touch isn't being taken away. It's just an assistant. I would say another great thing about faster content creation with Adobe AI Assistant is when you're doing your quarterly business reviews and you have to pull together all the insights and summaries. AI Assistant will reduce the amount of time that takes you to create your QBRs. Then it's easy to use, so getting started is fast and easy. Deploying it is quick and customers can get instant access to Assistant integrated with Acrobat. Now, Ricardo actually asked me when I joined the call if it can be used on the web version as well and not just the downloaded version. The answer is yes. I don't have the downloaded version on my laptop currently for Acrobat. But I do use it online and I use the AI Assistant online. So it's super simple to set up. And then the most important one of all for me about AI Assistant is stay in control of your data. Adobe is committed to protecting customer documents. The data is not used in LLM learning models, so language learning models, and the AI Assistant only looks at the documents you are telling it to. So this brings us on to the next topic. Trust is paramount at Adobe, and it starts with their commitment to security and ethics. Acrobat Studio is also based on these similar principles that the Adobe security principles are based on. It incorporates AI ethics and leverages document cloud security. It's designed for enterprise accountability, responsibility, and transparency, ensuring your data and operations are protected and handled with the utmost integrity. What I like about the assistant is that it does just look at your document and nothing in the background. It is not working off of the website, off of another website or the internet in the background. If you don't save your work and you close it, then you will probably lose it, because the idea of Adobe AI Assistant is once it's closed, your prompts and the work you've been doing with the AI Assistant disappears, and then the data is only held within the Adobe main systems for 12 hours after it has been used because, again, security is important, and we do see a lot more industries such as pharmacies, medical industries, legal industries, industries that use a lot of personal data using AI Assistant more because of its enterprise-grade security. So how does it differ? So I'm not going to read everything that's off this screen for you. Obviously, Ricardo will send you the slide deck at some point, but it's not just your normal AI tool. It is your office assistant. It does have enterprise grade security, summarization, and then with the generative AI for conversational querying, dynamic summaries, and key insight source attribution, it can suggest follow-ups. So not only can you ask it a question, but it will suggest 3 or 4 more questions that you could potentially ask to get different answers across. The document has understanding, and it is a powerful tool. So, who needs Adobe AI Assistant? We spoke previously that this plays a heavy role in various different industries, various different markets. But when we're talking to the customer, we want to make sure we're talking to the right customer and asking the right questions and figuring out what their needs are. Because a marketing department is going to be very different from a finance department to an IT manager, as we know. Finance can use Adobe AI Assistant to fast-track extraction of data, form financial reports, financial statements and contracts, and quickly summarize. HR recruiters can use it to generate summaries and analysis on the job market, as well as get recommendations on job descriptions, which is a really cool feature. Imagine you've got 10 CVs, curriculums for people applying for the same role, and you want to find on those 10 CV specific keywords related to the job the job description. You put that into AI Assistant and it will pull the curriculums that match those keywords the most, reducing the amount of people that you know that you then need to interview. Legal can use this to assess the impact of new regulations and review company contracts faster. Project management can recap meetings and get AI Assistant to help uncover deeper insights and brainstorm next steps through prompts. Marketing teams obviously can accelerate content creation by generating first drafts of assets such as blogs, emails, presentations, etc. And then sales. It's not sales, we don't normally think about sales when it comes to these types of products for Adobe, but they can use it to open one or more multiple PDFs and ask questions, to speed up research on prospective customers, or refine sales proposals and answer customer questions. So, what's new? This brings us to the new collaborative, innovative tool from Adobe, the one I'm the most excited about, bringing your Adobe ecosystem into one powerful tool. Acrobat Studio. So, Acrobat Studio is built to unlock knowledge, simplify collaboration, and power faster decisions across teams. It is using generative AI to help tackle this challenge, and as it continues to transform the business landscape, it's reshaping how organizations create marketing content, recruit talent in HR, and boost productivity of sales teams. For marketers, generative AI makes it possible to turn centralized brand assets into highly localized experiences. Creative roles become more strategic, while opportunities will emerge in marketing technology. Acrobat Studio is built of 4 components. We have Acrobat Pro, your all-in-one trusted PDF and e-signature solution. We have AI Assistant, which unlocks rapid insights, generates ideas, and creates shareable content, as we've previously mentioned. We then have Adobe Express Premium, which unleashes the creativity and quick and easy app. It's your quick and easy create anything app, I would say, for stunning social posts, images, videos, and flyers, etc. And then we have PDF spaces where people are able to start collaborating like they've never collaborated before in a powerful AI workspace, grouping files, links, and notes to achieve shared goals faster. What I like about the Acrobat Studio is it's bringing that ecosystem of tools all into one place. It is bringing the start to finish of a process. If we take a school, for example, now I know within Adobe, school and licensing works a little bit differently, but it's the perfect example to show from top to bottom how this can be used as a powerful tool. We start with the students. The students have to create work. They have to do a flyer or a presentation digitally. Now, previously, what would have to happen is they would put it on a memory stick and give it to the teacher, or they would send it via email to the teacher. The teacher would then have to correct that. They would then have to send back corrections with notes. So we're already 3 steps in, and it's quite a manual process. The students would then have to fix it, send it back again. That's 5 steps. With PDF Spaces, Adobe Express AI Assistant, the students can do all of this in one platform. The teacher can access the PDF Spaces and Adobe Express, seeing collaboratively what the students are doing, and it makes it easier to send back markings and corrections because they're off of one platform. There's no more printing, no more going to an email, no more putting things on a memory stick. Then the teachers work with administration. Administration have tons of paperwork going out, whether that's letters to students, whether that's the teacher's got to sign something for a contract. Administration can also use the same tool via Acrobat Pro and AI Assistant for e-signatures, if the teachers have to sign anything, or alternatively for Express as well. If the administration is requesting teachers to send up photos of an event they've done for the day for a social media post, they can also do that all through the one platform, which for me is a really great tool to have everything in one place. It's already built on a foundation that people love and trust. But it just means that people align faster and they're going to be delivering results with clarity and confidence.
Adobe Acrobat Studio is all new. What can PDF Spaces with AI do? Drag in research, drop in thoughts. Watch AI pull insights from your docs. Got the data? Do a recap. Generate a slick graph ASAP. You did your thing. It's time to share. Then let your team build from there. Ideate, generate, do it real quick. Let AI assistants do the trick. All wrapped up? Yeah, you won. Do that, doing that, did that, done. Now you can do that with Acrobat. Now you can do that with the all new Acrobat.
So again, another short video there that's probably, if you were drifting off, the music would have woken you back up again, because it can be quite quite aggressive if you've got the speakers up on full. But I think just like the way it's presented, the song, the way you can see the product there in real time, it is something to be shouting about. It's something to be excited about. Acrobat Studio is going to be the next, or it was launched probably about a month ago now. It is going to be the product that we're going to be talking about a lot. We're hopefully going to be seeing customers coming to us a lot about. And it's really transformative in the way that Adobe is working. So, according to a report published in June 2024, which again, if you want to scan the QR code, you'll be able to download or access the article of how Gen AI is shaping the future of creativity and marketing, which is where I took this from. But according to this report, it was published that the growing adoption of generative AI across industries raises important questions about its impact on businesses and organizations. What is clear that it has become a key driver of business transformation. And what we're seeing now, what we were seeing in 2024, we're seeing now, and it's continuously moving, is personalization at scale is no longer just an aspiration. It is becoming the new standard. If we look at this from a generational perspective as well, a lot of businesses are changing now the way they work because of the younger generations coming into the office. I think it was Microsoft who said that they have 4 different generations in the office. They have the baby boomers, the millennials, the Gen Z, and then whatever comes after Gen Z. I get lost in all of that. I know I was born in the 1990s, and that's that. But with all of these different generations coming to the office, everyone is coming with different skills. the older generation know hard work, and they know how to present, and they know how to organize themselves to write, to pull together reports. Whereas the younger generation are coming in where AI is something that is not something they're learning new, like myself a few years ago. It's already just natural to them, and they already learn how to use these programs. And I mean, when you've got to think about things like TikTok and Instagram, they are using AI on a daily basis. So when we're looking at this becoming the new standard in the workplace, AI is definitely something that we're going to need people to adopt and become educated on. And Adobe Acrobat Studio is the perfect product for people within this environment, because you've got the different tools. You can innovate, you can collaborate together, you can work together. And remember, I mean, in schools or marketing teams, working with sales, with the added extra of Express, you can lock content so nobody can delete anything, nobody can make mistakes. There's various different things that you can do with these products. So I think the main takeaways are from today is collaboration, innovation, and education around the next steps in AI and the PDF. So I want to thank you for your time. I'm going to pass you back to Ricardo. And again, you will all get a copy of this deck, because I'll send that to Ricardo later this week. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you very much, Charlotte, for your great presentation. Obrigado a todos por terem estado a assistir. Se tiverem alguma questão, podem agora colocar no chat, em português ou em inglês, como preferirem, e nós responderemos a qualquer pergunta. Caso não haja pergunta, aguardamos aqui um bocadinho para ver se há alguma questão. Aproveito também para colocar o e-mail da nossa equipa no chat, para caso precisem de alguma mais informação. Tem no chat o nosso e-mail. Qualquer questão, dúvida ou algo que gostassem de ver esclarecido, ou se precisarem de preços, podem nos contactar. Penso que não há perguntas. Aproveito então para agradecer a todos mais uma vez pela vossa presença. Thank you, Charlotte, again for your presentation, e um resto de um bom dia e de uma boa semana a todos. Muito obrigado.